All right, good evening. This is Lady Scarlet, and I'm going to read Leo tonight and see what's going on with our Leos. I was gone for a few weeks, so I'm trying to catch everybody up. I know that we've got Jupiter in Pisces and Pluto in Aquarius, I believe. So we've got some interesting things happening. You might be, getting phone calls from people you haven't heard from in a while. Might be finding out some hidden secrets. Different things like that. So I'm going to do my disclaimer. I am a therapist, but this absolutely cannot take the place of an individual therapy session, okay? If there are things that you need to talk about with someone, I suggest going to a professional. I will give some common sense advice based on my education and experience. But I cannot replace a personal individual therapist, okay? So also, as far as reading gender in tarot, every one of us have masculine and feminine energies. We're all on a spectrum as far as gender goes. So you may have to flip some roles or think about whether you are in a masculine or feminine energy at the moment. We talk about the 3D, which is what you and I perceive out in the real world when we're walking around in our bodies, but there's also 5D, which is where those energies lie. For instance, I have like 7 masculine energies and 3 feminine in mine. Okay, so there are often times that I am much more in masculine than feminine energy. I'm also a Taurus sun sign, but I have a lot of fire in my chart. A lot of, I say, so Leo is my Saturn, and then I have an Aries, Venus, and Mars, and then Sagittarius, Moon, and Rising. So I have a lot of fire in my chart. So sometimes some of these reads, if they're not resonating, you might look at those other signs in your chart to see where you might be. So again, you might have to flip roles because I'm reading a lot of energies coming at me. So this could be your reading, but I also might be reading somebody that's around you in your environment. So you know your life. I don't know you individually. So take those things into account as you're listening, okay? Let's look at your base cards so far. And at the bottom of the deck, I've got a Nine of Swords and a Knight of Swords and an Ace of Cups. Ace of Wands right underneath that. You know, you're really wanting to complete a cycle, but you've been in, it looks like you've been in your head a lot about it. In the current or recent past, you've got a Three of Swords. So that tells me that, you know, you're really working on completing a cycle of hurt, some kind of broken heart situation with someone. Four of Swords right after that, which is, you know, a card about healing, soul healing generally, but healing. King of Pentacles in your home environment. Now that generally is an earth sign card, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, in the home environment, but it very well could be you. We'll clarify. Ten of Swords in the near future. So it almost looks like something ended and then something began and something ended again. That's almost what it looks like in the cards, and I'm getting that maybe there was a relationship that ended and possibly a quick rebound situation that just like fizzled out pretty quickly. Possibly. Picking up that for some of you. That's a near future position. This is the near future connecting to the outcome, which is a Page of Cups. So it very much looks like something ended, there was an offer, or it could have been a reconciliation that ended again for some of you. In the outcome is Five of Cups and then Ten of Wands. So it looks like, Leo, you've been in your head about a lot of different things, back and forth about a lot of things. And you know, the bottom of the deck again was that Nine of Swords and really wanting to move towards love. But also, you know, the Ace of Cups isn't just about loving a new love coming into your life. It's also about learning how to love ourselves. And there have been some really difficult readings with Leo this year. If if you've watched mine or you've watched other readers, there's been a lot going on for Leo. So let's see what we have to clarify this read for you. And we're going to clarify that Three of Swords first, of course. I do think that some of you had one end, one begin and end. Some of you reconciled and ended again. It was back and forth. And, or maybe what I call a thinning of a relationship, like, how Ross and Rachel took a break on Friends, but they weren't really, they still wanted to be together, really, right? They were still jealous of the other one's dating or whatever. So there might have been like a thinning or a break in the relationship, and then, you tried again, and then it ended again. Ten of Swords is pretty much a final. So for a lot of you, it looks like those relationships are over. Of course, look, everyone has free will. They can make the decisions as they want to. But you have, disappointment in your outcome and heavily burdened by something with that Ten of Wands. So let's find out what's going on and clarify this a bit. Dax, honey, it's okay. My dog is protecting us. You all will be all right. So you have Four of Swords here in current or recent past, and then you have one clarifying your Three of Swords. So yeah, lots of healing and letting go, it looks like. It was almost like you healed, let go, and then did it again, and now you're back at maybe in this phase again of healing and letting go. Some of you, it's a divorce. Some of you were married. Some of you, this cycle completes you stepping into spiritual gifts, which that's happening for a lot. If you're watching any of the other signs, a lot of the readers are seeing that, of course, energy readers, seeing where people are completing karmic cycles and then stepping into spiritual gifts. But that's a lot about what's happening with planetary alignment this year as well. Like Pluto moving and Jupiter moving. Jupiter is a big, huge planet, right? So Pisces has softened some of that, but we, with that Pluto change, Pluto is slow moving. It's way out there. So this was a conflict. There was a lot of conflict, but I get internal conflict. And with the Knight of Wands, somebody wasn't bringing it. Whether it was you or the other person, there was some communication pitfall with the two of you where you weren't really speaking the same language, so to speak. Yeah, just different kinds of understanding. For some of you, this was a soul connection. It could be a twin flame with this getting back together and this repelling and attracting thing going on. Somebody spoke the truth very clearly and walked away, which kind of left you in a I'm not sure what to do. King of Cups there. It does look to me like there's going to be more communication, but it's not entirely over. And thus is the nature of twin flame. It's hard to stay apart, but it's hard to be together. So for some of you, it's that. For some of you, a lot of you, there was a soulmate connection, and some of you, it was time. You were with this person for a long time, and there were several times where the relationship thinned out. There wasn't any passion. Then you worked on it, and it was great. And so a lot of you are grieving the loss of this long-term relationship. It doesn't matter if it was a day or 20 years. We will grieve the end of something, right? So for some of you, it's really heavy on you right now. Let's clarify this King of Pentacles in the home environment. It almost looks, Leo, like you want to communicate with that person, but you're not sure what to say from this current or recent past, and that could have already happened. Four of Pentacles, so I do feel like this King of Pentacles is your energy in the home environment where you're just keeping to yourself. You're really keeping to yourself. Yeah, High Priestess on the bottom. You're just keeping the secrets. I do feel like there's going to be, right underneath that is that Two of Cups. Yeah, you're just keeping things close. You're not telling anybody what's going on with you. For some of you, with that King of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles, you may have come into some kind of something and you are not telling people to protect it. Like some kind of inheritance or, maybe a big tax return. Who knows? I mean, it is that time of the year, right? victory for some. I get that some of you are buying a home, purchasing a home or land or something like that. But that's a victory. You know, Six of Wands is a victory card. So let's get a clarification on that Six of Wands. You've successfully kept this information hidden, though. So Queen of Cups, that's water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. So some of you could have been dealing with one of those signs. But it's possible that there's been a lot of, well, I think there's been just been a lot of daydreaming. Like, what are we going to do with this fortune? Because it's a big change. It's a death card. That's a Scorpio card. So some of you definitely dealing with a Scorpio. And there's that communication, but that's also swiftness. So it can be communication, or it can be things happening or moving very quickly. So if you've got a large amount of money and you're about to do something with it, it might move really, really fast. So carefully plan and budget, right? Make sure that, you know, you're talking to people who know what to do with money. I mean, I don't, for sure. I'd have to, for a Taurus, I don't know much about money, right? So make sure that you're planning and budgeting that amount of money, because I really feel like some of you had a windfall, but you're not telling people about it. And so you're trying to create balance within that, because there's this excitement to like go spend, right? But be careful with that. You know, I definitely am not telling you what to do. You have free will, do whatever you want with your money, but you're keeping it quiet for a reason. I respect that. Let's clarify this Four of Swords right here in the current or recent past that connects to the near future. Yeah, some of you are definitely grieving a situation and doing a lot of soul healing. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Ancestors. Let's clarify this Four of Swords for Leo, please. Yeah, two roads. Sometimes this can be a reconciliation of sorts, but a lot of times it's more about a stalemate or a choosing of two paths. The Two of Swords. And so, you know, I think that maybe in the past you did choose the wrong road, and then you tried to choose it, and it's like the same thing happened. It's like, how come I keep doing this, repeating the same mistake? Ace of Wands. So, you know, that's a card about personal power. It can also be about magical, you know, have magic wand, if you will. It can also be, you know, let's see if a person falls down here, because it also could be that you had a sexual attraction with someone, and maybe, you know, that got equated into love, and so there was a lot of disappointment surrounding that. Woo, that was a book that fell. We're not going to take all those. So, okay, those cards really want to give us a whole story. Yeah, I think that you felt juggled, like the person was back and forth with you. You know, 2 2s are generally indicative of a separation. In a lot of cases, I really feel separation here. And you weren't sure how separated it was. But I think there was confusion on both sides. And you're really wanting a new beginning. Yeah, Ace of Cups on the Page of Cups. It fell right there on the Page of Cups. So I feel like, you know, you ended this relationship, which was somewhat confusing, and the communication was off. And then some of you reconciled, but it was like it was new, and split up again. And some of you have a new person that you're seeing, and, you know, they're making you feel all great, and you want to offer a relationship, or they're offering a relationship to you. Page of Cups on the Page of Cups. So there's some offer being made, obviously. One more card. Let's find out why this Page of Cups is here, please. For Leo. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Ancestors. Definitely picking up that people are moving to new locations. Some of you are moving to get away from an area, like fresh start kind of thing, but also to not be so available to people, it looks like. kind of hiding out a little bit. I mean, I get it. I do that. I live way out in the country. So yeah, breaking, the blindfold is off for a lot of you. You're like, okay. For some of you, this relationship is moving super fast. Chariot is the fastest moving card in the deck. So some of you broke out of a situation and moved quickly forward with someone. But, you know, you've got to do the healing work. This is the Wounded Warrior card, Knight of Wands. But that's also about taking a stand. And so to me, it's like you're putting different boundaries down in this new relationship than you did before. Boundaries are healthy, you all. We teach people how to treat us. So I feel like you're doing that. You're with, you know, for some of you that either if you reconciled, you are giving healthy boundaries to each other. And if this is, you know, for some of you, a new relationship, you're really talking about what you want and need out of the relationship and being a lot more clear than you were in the past. So you have 10 of Swords, and then you have 10 of Cups in reverse on top of that, and 7 of Pentacles, which is like the timing is off for some of you. It's like you don't feel like you're getting rewarded for all the hard work you've done. And so, you know, in connecting this to the outcome, it's like, okay, I have to do something different because this is not working for me. So some of you are definitely completing a karmic lesson, you know, or if you want to say, I don't really believe in that whole karma thing, LadySkarlette, you're learning lessons from repeated mistakes in the past. You're noticing the pattern of your relationships and how and why they might not be working out, and you're changing those behaviors, which is great. Like, I applaud you for that, you know. You know, 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, you know, there was this, you know, you're looking at these cups over here, but there's this great offer over here, like, coming in that you're not even looking at, right? You know, for some of you, definitely was a soul connection or a twin flame, and that is really difficult to deal with. Granted, I mean, it's really a mind F, if you will. You're like, why do I like this person so much? And then, oh my gosh, they make me crazy. Because your twin is supposed to mirror what you need to work on, right? And so, you know, for some of you, you figured that out. You're like, oh, I need to work on boundaries with people. And so you did that, right? Let's clarify this 5 of Cups and the outcome. Well, that was a lot of cards. Let's do that again. So 4 of Cups comes out on top of the 5 of Cups. You know, disappointment. For a lot of you, you're like, I chose poorly. You know, I chose the wrong person. I should have chose this other person that was more stable. But I went after this one because it looked so promising, or whatever the reason was. And you're just really disappointed. And now you're really burdened and hoping that you can. I think some of you were going after that other person that, you know, I'm going to tell you, as somebody who's, you know, had somebody come back to them and say, I should have chosen you. I'm like, no thanks. You know, I want to be the first choice. And you might experience that. So play that well, my friends, because, you know, some people don't want to be the second choice, and you might hear that whole I told you so thing. Like, I told you that person was crazy. Why did you do that? Or I told you that person was going to hurt you, you know? So be careful with trying to go after someone that knows that they were not chosen first, because it really looks like some of you might do that. So, well, there's a Leo card for you right there, the Sun. You know, so some of you are illuminated. You have an understanding of what went wrong in the past for you, and you are trying to change that. So, you know, but you're still dealing with that disappointment and those burdens of what you might have done wrong or what they did wrong. You've also got the Devil. But I feel like this is breaking out of that. You know, but you've got to work on letting go of the past, and those, we have to be able to forgive ourselves to move forward and learn to love ourselves. We all make mistakes. Mistakes are just practice. Honestly, failure is just practice. We have to learn from our mistakes to be able to move forward and heal. For a lot of you, I think that you're breaking out of those things. For some, I mean, again, I've seen in the past addictions and obsessions. For Leo, a lot of you are ending that cycle. You're going into recovery, getting clean and sober. And for that, I very much applaud you. A lot of you are working on changing a lot of those things. You're in a tower moment, a lot of you, because of those things, because of those choices. And a lot of times when if we go down that line of karma, and we are working on our karma, and we go through a tower moment, after we have the tower, things balance out. Yeah, Ten of Swords again. So it's like you were almost getting there, and then you did it again, and now you're trying to end that cycle, that repeated cycle. At the bottom of the deck, you've got the Emperor. It's an Aries card. But that also means like you're stepping into that divine masculine power. Underneath that is Ten of Pentacles, Six of Swords. Some of you definitely, you're moving on to calmer waters, right? And you're working towards that Ten of Pentacles. You're working on those things that you really, really want. The Four of Wands underneath that, completion of a cycle. You're on the right path. That's the 1111 card. The Star underneath that. I mean, a lot of you are really, you've learned the lesson and you are moving forward. And I love to see that for you, Leo, because there was a lot of really, the first couple of reads I did for you all were really troubling. So some of you are learning those lessons and moving forward, stepping into that divine power, some divine gifts for some of you. I do see that possibly some of you are getting promoted in your jobs as well. I think that's a few people. Let's clarify. So I clarify with my personal deck the top line, which is home environment and kind of current to near future. So let's see what's going on in that area. Let's clarify that home environment line. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and Angels. Can you please clarify for Leo? I mean, there's a lot of moving forward for you all with the Chariot and the Eight of Wands. Six of Swords as well showing up. So there's lots of movement, moving towards more calm waters, learning your lessons, you know, putting down boundaries that you wouldn't have put down in the past, and also learning how to forgive yourself and stepping away from addictions and obsessions. So there's lots of healing energy in this read. It's really quite beautiful to see after a few reads that were I was really worried about. Yeah. So I screwed up. This could be betrayal, could be lying, cheating. Someone has hell to pay. It's the Criminal by Fiona Apple card. What would an angel say? The devil wants to know, right? Soul Star Chakra. So this is about definitely twin flame for some of you. This is about karmic blueprint, soul's destiny, gaining spiritual wisdom, past lives. This is our 8th chakra, which is above our crown chakra. So this is a death, birth, and rebirth kind of thing, like a phoenix. Soul's destiny. It's about past lives, universal love, and unconditional love. So connect to spirit. So, you know, for some of you, you really needed to connect to your spirituality or connect to your higher power. So the turquoise, which is Sagittarius energy, is about compassion outward and inward, cleansing, calm energy, calms the soul. Turquoise is a healing tool. It also is associated with the throat chakra. Connect to your breath. Clears anxiety and mood swings. Rebalances the physical body. This is about truth seeking, feng shui, wealth and energy. You've worked really, really hard. You've had a lot of obstacles in your path. And this is the Mountains card. It's about creating your own path. You know, finding out what your life purpose is, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, so there you are. But you also could have been dealing with another, you know, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Since you got a couple of Sagittarius there, that wouldn't surprise me. So let's clarify this connect to the outcome section. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Ancestors. Let's clarify for Leo, please. Oh, that was a book. Let's try that again. The cards are really jumping out for you, Leo. I'm afraid of the truth, but I'm afraid to be honest. So it's like, you know, on both sides of this, there was a lot of not speaking the truth, not being truly honest and vulnerable. You know, and when we cannot be vulnerable with someone, when we can't trust someone, you know, love is about learning to trust and being able to be vulnerable with someone. Yeah, somebody, somebody's looking at your pictures or your social media. You might be looking at theirs too. I mean, we do that, right? I attract that which I deserve from the universe. Some of you are definitely in that karmic cycle. And some of you are learning it, and you're in that tower moment, and some of you might already be on the other side of that tower moment, and you're in that, that those calmer waters already, and some of you are getting to those calmer waters. Can we get a couple more cards for Leo, please, to clarify on karma and keyhole? So keyhole can also be about finding that deeper inner wisdom, look deeper. I do not demand, I command respect and admiration. Some of you may have been with someone who was really demanding. Maybe even I'm getting a little bit of a narcissistic vibe as well. Some of you may have been dealing with that. Or maybe you are, no judgment, just, work on it. So some of you were dealing with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Yeah, and the Don't Follow by Alice in Chains. So Say Goodbye, Don't Follow. This is the do whatever to get me by. And, definitely with some of you that were having some addiction issues, you were doing that to deal. And a lot of you were saying goodbye to that now and trying to heal and get better. It's don't hide from the problem, face it. It's also about, connecting to the people that love you and are safe for you. Also, timing is off for us. And I think I said that, in this with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, that for some of you, the timing was just off for that situation. You both didn't come together healed, and so it created a lot of miscommunications and a lot of heartbreak. Let's clarify the outcome for you, Leo. I have a strong feeling that it's not the last time that you're going to speak to this person. I mean, it was maybe a highly intense relationship, but there's just a lot of like disappointment about, what could have been maybe. So third eye chakra. So some of you are definitely stepping in with this illumination, which is a Leo card down here at the bottom. Some of you are definitely stepping into your intuitive power. Because this is third eye chakra. It's the sixth chakra associated with the color indigo. This is about pattern recognition, right? So you recognize the pattern and you're changing it. You're changing your own behaviors and recognizing behaviors in others that aren't good for you, right? This is about mental clarity, seeing the true world. It's also Pisces energy. But definitely, it's also about being able to concentrate. So some of you that have had difficulty with that. And then this is the One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston card, Racing with Destiny. So, I did tell you some of you are meeting someone new, and it very well could be a soul connection for you, especially with this card. This is attaining goals. You're more than you thought you could be. Your hard work paying off because you have worked on that karmic cycle. Let's get a couple more cards for you, Leo. I think about you. This one has tried to pop out a few times. I think about you often at times I can't sleep, and I think this is on both sides. That person that you were with, that you both get into places where you are thinking about the other one, or maybe looking at pictures or reading old messages, or maybe even writing things down and then erasing it, or things like that. Get a couple more cards for Leo for their outcome. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Ancestors. Shh. It's my guard dog, you all. She's my little rat terrier. It's like I already told you, I'm not going to drop any more cards. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Ancestors. Okay, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, which we've said could very well be involved. Some of you could be Cancer, Leo, Cusper as well. So I've gotten that several times. Black onyx, grounding, protection, self-control, shield against negative energy, stamina, determination, strong support. Definitely be helpful for those of you who are going into recovery or need a booster with your recovery, right? determination, strong support. Those are very important in recovery. So let's get some personal oracle cards for you, Leo. Let me clear this mess up. And it feels like a lot of that struggle that I was reading in the last couple of readings is really coming to a close for a lot of you, because you're learning, like I said, to recognize those patterns and change behaviors. And you're recognizing those patterns in other people that are not good for you. So setting healthy boundaries, right? Saying, no is a complete sentence, basically. Like, I'd love to help you, but I can't do that. Being able to do that and set healthy boundaries. Again, remember, we teach people how to treat us. So that's going to be very important for you, especially in recovery, right? It's something that we have to think about. March 14th was my 5-year sobriety date, and I have to attend to my recovery every day. So for those of you that are doing that, love and light to you. I know the struggle. We got to keep it up. Recovery every day, right? Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. I'm going to get some cards for Leo, please. There's a lot of dogs barking in my neighborhood, you all, and my dog is like on guard, so you'll hear her. So sometimes you put up a good fight and lose. So some of you worked really hard to try to make a relationship work and it did not work out. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday, because we are not the same person day to day. We grow every day based on our experiences. And so just know that, you are growing every day and learning more and more what your divine purpose is and who you are. Learning is a result of listening. So some of you might be, reading or listening to maybe some, podcasts or TED Talks or audiobooks about self-help is kind of what I was getting from that. Do not go gentle in that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. So some of you, don't give up. This is about not giving up. This is about, I tell people, you have made this progress. And, if you're somebody who is in recovery and you had a relapse, we learn every time we go back into recovery. So do not feel like it's a failure. You have learned skills. You're going to use those skills and then you're going to learn some more. So don't give up. And for some of you, I feel like this might be about some mental health issues. Please go talk to somebody. Hopefully a professional, but, work on those things. There's a reason that you are here. And you might need to do some meditation or prayer to, figure out, I had a card flip, so I'm going to pull that one out. Step out of your comfort zone and transform. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I need to clarify that, you all. Sometimes we got to step out of our comfort zone and do a different thing. And it's not easy, right? The first time I went to an AA meeting and said the words, I'm an alcoholic, I bawled, and it was so hard to say, but I did it, right? But it's also about other things too. I've always been a leader, but it was a really difficult thing for me when I finally figured it out and I started stepping out of my comfort zone and just stepping into those leadership roles. And so anything that you're, if you're wanting to transform, you often have to step out of your comfort zone. I am no bird, and yet no net ensnares me. You are not stuck. Nothing ensnares you, You're only limited by your own beliefs, right? Let's get a few more cards for Leo, please. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. Okay, that was a lot of cards. I'm going to take that bottom one, though. Communication is connection. Definitely. You also got call a friend. Authenticity is about being able to know and to access the best parts of yourself and bring them forward. It may not be your fault what happened, but it is your responsibility to heal. Take a break, ask for help. And at the bottom of the deck, You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb inside of his skin and walk around in it. That's a quote from To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, a lot of you are absolutely stepping out of your comfort zones right now and transforming, and it's really, like, I'm happy for you. I do get a sense that, some of you are getting clean and sober, and I just applaud that. I applaud that so much, because I know the struggle. Let's get you some runes. Ooh, that one came out sideways. It's Wunjo Joy. These are really good. Yay, Leo. So Joy came out sideways. That's Wunjo. And so to me, it's like, that's your, you want to get there. Let's just say it that way. So it represents joy and happiness. And the fact that it's sideways, it came out sideways, just tells me that you are really working on coming to yourself in some way. Karma is turning in your favor. Okay. This is going to be with the help of family. Like, there's somebody in your family that is really there for you. I was just looking to see if there's anything with Wunjo. Wunjo is about a deep, long-lasting happiness, and so I think a lot of you are really working on coming to that deep, lasting happiness. And then Bjork is a rune about family and family connection. It can represent mother or your mother or children, but it indicates an event which is bringing joy to the family. So you're working on, it's like you're working on your family being proud of you. That's what I'm getting. But it's also the birth or formation of an idea. Could very well be that, some of you are pregnant or expecting a child, or maybe getting a child in a different way, but you're bringing a child into your home. It also can signify that home is where your heart is. That's not necessarily a location, but your heart is where home is, right? We create that. So it's also about a tangible result. Like, you want to see results. So, if you've been struggling, Bjork in your read definitely shows that things are going to turn in your favor. And with Wunjo and it talking about a karmic reward, I really feel like you all are working a lot on that. And then you have Sigil, which is one of the most positive runes, and it's in your outcome. It's a rune of victory, and it assures success, basically. I mean, you have free will, but it's a rune of great power. So you're going to step into your personal power, Leo, and, like, I'm really happy for you. If any of you are starting a business, the fact that you have Wunjo and Sigil there, it's a really good sign, but it also could mean that you need to make sure that you have work-life balance, because you might be working too hard or overworking, So if you have been in your head a lot, Sigil is a sign that that's going to balance out, but it's really about that work-life balance for a lot of you, I think. Sigil can often mean somebody being self-centered, but in this case, I really think that you're focusing on self to change some things, to create a better outcome for yourself. So, because this rune is like 99% of the time positive, and there aren't any negative runes next to it. So I just really feel like you are on the right path. And that's really exciting, and I'm happy to see it for you, Leo. Absolutely happy to see that. Let's get you a couple of Fairy Dust Oracle cards before we go. Oh, I didn't do your animal totem? I better do that, huh? Let's do that before we do the Fairy Dust Oracle. Alright. Animal totem for Leo, please. You know what's interesting is this. I keep seeing this one, and you are Leo. So let's read the lion card because it came out several times. I keep seeing it. And actually, whenever I shuffled them, when I pre-shuffled all of the cards for the read, this one kept coming up on top. So, courage, strength, healing, protection, and life energy. The lion has been a powerful symbol of strength and courage in cultures around the globe. Because of its mane and light color, it has also been associated with the sun, a symbol of heroism and the source of life and energy. In Buddhism, the lion symbolizes courage, nobility, and good luck. In medieval times, the image of a lion was a symbol of healing, and it could cure any disease as well as protect a traveler from harm. In the painting, the lion is framed in a circle with 4 points, which forms a mandala, a mystic circular symbol that in Buddhist and Hindu traditions was used as an aid to meditation. The psychologist Carl G. Jung said that the circular mandala, with its characteristic 4 points, circumscribed a holy place. It was a means towards greater self-awareness, which I don't know if that was more appropriate for your read or not. That was really literally like your whole read on the back of the lion card. So let's get you some fairy dust oracle cards. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors, and our fairy friends. Can we get a couple of cards for Leo, please? So we have family. Wherever you go, whatever you do, your family is here for you. And I did get that in your read and in your runes, that there's at least one person in your family that you're really close to that will be there for you. Release. Sometimes the only thing to do is laugh or cry. It's up to you. So release. There's some things that you need to release. 4-leaf clovers. You have found a 4-leaf clover. Unlucky times will soon be over. That was definitely in your rune cast. I mean, in your entire read, that you are moving forward to calmer waters. On the bottom is fairy guides. Whenever you are feeling blue, don't fear. The fairies are protecting you. So you all, this was a great read for you. It's really a great read after some of those more heavy reads that I had for you. So again, I want to say, any of those of you that are dealing with addictions, obsessions, and you're going into recovery, love and light to you. It is a difficult journey, but it's well worth it on the other side. For those people that have subscribed to my channel and are liking and sharing and commenting such sweet comments, I really do appreciate all of the support. This is Lady Scarlett, love and light, and I hope to see you again.